Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Honeybee. So this is another in my Corvette series, and that just means that it is a light, close-range support ship. Um, it's not designed for long voyages and doesn't have a ton of cargo space. It's just designed to go ahead and defend, say, your local outposts or space stations, small planets, whatever. In game terms, this is more designed kind of like a fighter, pure combat ship with not a whole lot of cargo. Now, most of my Corvettes have no real restrictions on starship design or anything like that. However, I decided to make this ship as another um, small combat ship that does not require any ranks of starship design or any ranks of piloting, though you still probably want piloting to at least one to make good use of it. Now, let's go ahead, do a little tour, then we will um, see how the ship is built, and finally we will go ahead and test it out in Serpentis. So you can see first off, we are in the Hope Tech Armory. We have our docker right up here. All of our weapon racks are right over here. Right over here we've got a brig. And then up here we have the Tayo 2x1 all-in-one with 4 beds, bathroom, galley, some seating, and then finally the one door leads into the cockpit. And there you have it. That's the entire ship. Now, I will note that this particular hab can be used for literally whatever you want. I just felt that an armory would make the most sense if you are selling the ship to, say, the UC. All right. So let's go ahead and hop on in here. Step one, I'm going to grab my colors. You see that I went with a yellow, then a black, and then kind of a much darker yellow for that honeybee appearance. All right. The last thing I'm going to note here is that this ship is actually a vanilla ship. That means that you do not need any ship flip glitches to build this ship. So you don't need that enabled in your settings. All right, so how is the ship built? Well, first things first, we've got that Hope 4 landing bay. Then, on top of it, we are going to go ahead and grab your favorite 2x1. This is going to be, for me, the armory. And then up on top of that, I want to use a Tayo 2x1 here, more for the shape. And I want the B variant, so that way I have those side connection pieces. Next up, right up front here, I'm going to go ahead and place my docker. And then finally, right here, we have our choice in what cockpit we want to use. So you could go ahead here and grab, say, the Kontiki bridge. That fits right there. Another good one to put in here would be the Magellan C1X, if you like that shape, though then I might consider swapping for a Nova hab behind it. We could go ahead and stick in one of the Armstrong cockpits, though that is going to then have a small gap right up top that is a little bit more annoying to fill in. Or finally, what I went with for the ship is whichever the best tile cockpit you can fit on is. And there we have it. That is all the habitable space on the ship. Now, the last thing I do want to note here is that if you do not like the forward docker, with this ship, you could very easily go ahead and put a top docker on right here and put something else right up front. All right, next up, underneath this underhang here, I'm going to go ahead and place my reactor and grav drive. Now, for this ship, use whatever the best reactor you have is. However, with the limitation I know Starship Design, I'm using the 134 toroidal. Now, for this particular ship build, I do need to have side connection pieces, but I'm not aware of any Class A reactors that don't have those. However, I am also making use of the top and bottom connection pieces, and that means that we would need to figure out some other way of pulling this off if we wanted to go ahead and make use of the Spheromac reactor. All right, now underneath this, I am going to go ahead and put my grav drive. Now for this ship, because it is so light, I can get away with the Helios 200 grav drive and still maintain at least that 27 light year jump range. All right, next up, landing gear. Now I decided to go ahead and use the Hope 6 landing gear on this ship. The use of the Hope 6 landing gear here does mean that I do not need to do any ship flip glitches to get the upper pieces on. However, if you don't care about that and you like the look of the Tayo landing gear more, you could do this. So this would be kind of this side and then this side. However, then you are going to need to flip glitch. So for this ship, I'm using the M40 HE3 tank, and then behind that I have the White Dwarf 1020 engines. And this is what you can see from this side. But if you wanted to use that with the Tayo landing gear, you are going to need to flip it into place. Just like so. And then you kind of get that double engine look. If you like that, and you are okay with the flip glitches, do it. I always do love the Tayo landing gear, and there's no real reason not to use them with how heavy the ship is. You can get away with about 3 landing thrusts total, so you've got options. All right, but as mentioned, for this ship, I'm just going to use that Hope landing gear. All right, so engines are in place. What's next? I'm going to go ahead and pop on over to my cargo, and I have a 100 cm ballast cargo hold connected on the back of this. This is also going to connect to the bottom of the Dymo's tail right here. So there's 2 connection points there, so if you do swap to the Spheromac reactor and figure out another way to get the grav drive attached, you will still be able to go ahead and use that. Another option here, if you would like, and you like the look of that more, is we can go ahead and swap the cargo and grav drive placements, and we get that look instead. All right. Now then, a couple more structural pieces. Right back here, I am going to go ahead and put on the Nova cowling in the rear variant. That's going to be right over those engines. And then right up here, I am going to go ahead and place my Horizon weapon mounts. Now, I will note that for this ship, because there are weapon mounts on the back of the tail, you do not actually need these, and you could instead just have it connect from the tail. However, I liked having the kind of more concentrated area. Another thing that we could look at doing is we could look at putting in an equipment plate right here to go ahead and give us, up to 7 weapon slots after we add our shield, which in this case is the 30S protector, but it's really whatever the best shield you can fit on is. So you do have 7 weapon slots available fairly easily on this ship. However, with only 9 reactor power available to you, I feel that it's better to use the non-auto weapons and fully power them. So I did do a little bit of experimenting around, and though I could use the Ravager 20 MEVs, I do really like the extra range that the Disruptor 3300s give me, so that's why I'm using them. If you got Starship Design to rank 1, I would definitely use this instead. So we're going to go ahead and take 4 of these. There we go. Just like so. Assign our weapons, and then paint our ship. And there we have it, the Honeybee. It's got a little bit of cargo. 95 mobility is still plenty good. And then you will note 23 equip power, so if you do not have the anitronic fusion skill or some like Vasco on your crew, you aren't going to be able to fully power your shield or your weapons, but you should still be able to get fairly close. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and take it out to Serpentis and see how it performs. So I will note that this combat demonstration is on extreme ship combat difficulty. And I am on New Game Plus 2, which does mean that I'm going to be taking a little bit more damage than if you were running this in a non-New Game Plus setting. Alright, where'd Serpentis go? Here we are. So, as always with these light ships, if you want to make good use of them, you do need piloting to rank 1, so that way you can perform the following maneuver. We are going to make distance from our entry point, wait for somebody to show up, and then we are going to fly backwards away from them. And it looks like this Eulogy does not have any weaponry that can reach us at this range, so we are nice and safe. And with this weapons, we can reach them all the way out to about 37 to 4,000 meters. So we can afford to go ahead and just... Nice lucky hit on the hull. There we go. So one-on-one, it is very easy. Multiple on one, it is also fairly easy as long as you can go ahead and dictate the ranges. Alright, grab the ship parts. And now let's go see hostile activity. Now, as always with these no Starship design ships, I am always very cautious because it is very easy to get a glancing hit, lose power for your engines, and suddenly you cannot run away fast enough. So, alright. We need a bit more range. Yep. Alright. So, Now that they're following us, who is closest? Alright, looks like we've got this Veyron Dirge here, so what I'm going to do now is turn back to going this way, and then I'm going to slow down till I'm about 140-ish, somewhere between 140 and 150, so that way they can catch up with their Class A ships. And the reason why I like this weapon is because I do have that long range available to me, so I can go ahead and outrange my opponent. Now, one of the things that you may have noted is I've got good fire when that red ring is around them, it concentrates on them, but after that, if the red ring goes away, I miss. That is something that you do want to keep in mind. With the non-auto weapons, it doesn't really matter if I just spew fire in the general direction, because I'm not going to run out of ammo. Alright. Critically hit the hull. Alright, and then this hem is, I believe, a Class C ship. So what I'm going to do... Whee! Get a little bit closer. And then I want to slow down to about 140. Nope. Oh, shoot. And he boosted. So let's boost again. Alright. And I'm not going to mess around at all with trying to get ranges, because he is still touching me at these extreme ranges. So I'm going to pound him some, and then if I stop hitting him, I will move closer. Alright, now let's go ahead and move back towards him, because we are missing with more of our shots. And there we go. So that is how you can take this cheesy little ship into even the most difficult fights. Alrighty then, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. If you watched this all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And I will see you in the next one.